and welcome you all to a new video. And in this video, we are going to continue what we left in the last video. In the last video, I taught you guys how you can install Supabase and initialize it in the Next.js, in your Next.js project. And in this video, we are going to set it up. Okay, so we are going to write a few lines of code and we are going to see how we can like actually initialize our Supabase inside our project. So without a further ado, let's go and let's open our project. And here you can see I have opened my Visual Studio Code and here I'm using the app directory. So let me just make it a little bit bigger. So I hope you guys can see it now clearly. So I'm using the app directory as you guys can see here. It's a simple page and nothing much that I have done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new folder and I'm going to name it utils. Okay, so in the utils, I'm going to create a new file named as supabase.ps. So, okay, so what we are going to do now is we are going to first import a few things, such as we are going to now import create, just a minute, we are going to create client components client and from we are going to import it from at the rate Supabase auth helper not Next.js. Okay, so what it's saying is declared. Okay, so it's a TypeScript error. So mm, okay, so it's not components, it's component. Okay, so here we go. And one more thing we are going to import is we are going to import create route handler client. So here we have this. So okay, so since this is done, let's import one more thing, and this is create client from Supabase/Supabase hyphen JS. Okay, so these are just helper libraries that are going to help us with all the authentication and initialization part. So okay, so now we need to import our anon and the URL that we have set up in the .env file. Okay, so how I'm going to do it, I'm going to write const URL is equal to uh, process dot env dot. Okay, so what is the name, what is the name that I have written in the in .env file? It is next underscore public underscore supabase underscore URL. Oh, so here it is. Okay, so we have the URL and similarly we can get the anon key const anon. So how we going to do it? Process dot env dot next underscore public underscore supabase anon. So I'm using tab 9 starter, which is helping me in a few lines of code, like auto completing the line that I required. Yeah, so it reads from the code and like suggest what you have in it. So, okay, what one more thing that I'm going to do it, I'm going to give it a type. So since it's a string, so we can like give it a undefined. Okay, so URL could be string or it is like empty string or null. Okay, so we can like, do it null. Done. So here we can give it like this. So why I'm giving it like empty string? So I've defined like URL could be null or undefined, or it could be only a string. So like this. So similarly, for the anon, I'm just gonna copy the thing, copy this from here to like here, and I'm gonna paste it here. Okay. So similarly, I'm gonna give it this. Mm, wait a minute, this and this. Okay. So we have this. So we have imported things that that we require. Now we are going to use it. And why we are and where we are going to use it? I'm going to create a simple function. Okay, so it's a simple const function. So export const. What I'm going to name it? I'm going to name it Supabase client is equal to create client. So create client, and inside it, I'm going to pass URL, comma anon, comma. I'm going to open object, and inside the object, I'm going to write auth, or and this will take another object which is persist session, and I'm going to give it false. Okay. And next we are going to make another function. So I'm going to name it export const, and I'm going to name it Supabase component. is equal to, I'm going to do create client component client. Okay. So, and what I'm going to pass inside it? Nothing. It doesn't require any parameter. Okay. So we are done with this. Let's create one and last function that we will be required. Export const. We are going to name it Supabase route handler is equal to create route handler client that we have imported here. And since it's a function, we are going to give it as cookies as our parameter, and let's give it a type. For now it's any, and now I'm going to, since it's a function, I'm going to open I'm going to open curly braces, and inside the curly braces I'm going to write const Supabase is equal to create route handler client, and inside it I'm going to pass cookies that I have created. Okay, so I will teach you where it is going to be used. So now we are going to return Supabase. So we are done with our code. So okay, so we are done with the supabase.ps file. Now it's time to create our middleware. So middleware is basically a part of routing, allow you to run code before a request is completed. Basically, it runs behind our front-end code. It checks few things. We can like set up our private routes with the routes that only authenticated users are able to see. We can set the error messages like in which page we are going to get the errors. We can check sessions. We can set session. We can retrieve sessions, and we can change the routing, and we can do like most of the things that we need to do in routes in React.js. We can do it in the middleware, okay, easily. So how we are going to create middleware file? Use the file in the root of your project to define the middleware. So we are going to create middleware.ts name file in the root. Okay, so I'll come into my root. I will click outside the folder structure. I'm gonna click on this button, and I'm gonna paste it what I copied from the docs. Right. And third, I pressed enter. Now let's see what it is asking us to do. So it's just a basic simple snippet code snippet that Next.js has given us. I'm gonna copy it and I'm gonna paste it here. So since we have copied our middleware, it's a simple function where it created a function named middleware, and it is returning the response where we are being redirected to /home. Okay, we are going to create middleware route handler. Okay, okay. So what we are going to do is we have already created this part of the code, and we have now what we are going to do. We are going to import this create middleware client. So we are going to import it, we are going to copy, and now I'm going to come up here and I'm going to paste it. So we have copied it. Now what it is doing is it is helping us here create Supabase client configure to use cookies. Now we are going to, since we are going to use cookies for authentication part, we are going to use the middleware. So I'm going to come here and paste it here. Now it's giving us the error, cannot find the name database. It is because we don't have the database yet. We have not pulled the database from the Supabase. That's why it is asking us to, it is giving us this error. So for now, I'm going to delete it. We don't need it for now. And now this request and response, because we have not provided it here. So I'm going to give it here, this. I'm going to copy it just like this. And I'm going to paste it. So it is giving us here, so we can change it for now. Request.url and then response. Responses we can get it from here. We copy it and we can just paste it here. So guys, I want you to see that I'm not making anything tough. I'm not making it look like it's like super complicated. You need to like follow everything and then learn it and then do everything. It's just simple steps that I'm taking from their own docs and then using it in my code. Supabase is very, very, very simple to implement and like use. So you guys can go ahead with this, and if you want to like read the docs first and then watch the videos, you can do it. So it's fine with me. So yeah, let's go. Let's move. So now we have done this. Now, what if we want to get the session, like which user is currently logged in? So for this, we are going to use the get session method of Supabase. I'm gonna copy the code easy. So I've copied it and then I'm going to paste it right below. Okay, so here we have. So now it's giving us await because our function is not so we are going to add a normal async function here. So since this is an async function, we can use await with it. Okay, so like at the end we can return the response. Now, if you want to see what you are getting in this session, you can just simply like const data is equal to data, and then you can go and console.log it. So you will get the data here. Okay, so I'm not gonna show it to what we are getting in it because this is because in this part I'm just showing you guys how you can set it up. So for in the next video I will be showing what type of data we are getting, what is the data we are getting inside like inside the middlewares. Okay, so you don't have to worry about it. We can just carry on with our setup part. So since we are done with this, now we are going to create another um, what we can say another code, another file, another folder inside the app, and we are going to name it auth. Inside the auth, I'm going to create another folder which is callback, and inside the callback, I'm going to create route.ts. So what we are going to do in this file is we are going to create a function, and this will be a get function. So let's do it. So it will be a async function. So export async, and this will be a normal function. So and the name of the function will be get, and inside the panel we are going to pass request, and it is a type of next request. Okay, so we have done this. So here we are going to use a few things. First we are going to check the URL, const request URL, and we are going to write it new URL and request dot URL. Okay, so what it's going to do is it's going to give us the complete information about the current URL that we are on. Okay, so its domain name, its path, cookies stored in it, and everything like you can imagine. I'll show you guys everything, every data that we are getting in every file in the next video. So hang on with this. So now we are going to write const code is equal to request URL dot search mm, request URL dot search params uh, dot get. Okay, so what is wrong with this? Am I missing something? um, URL search params. Okay, it's not URL search params, it's just URL params. Okay, so that's why it's giving us the error. So dot get, and inside that we are going to write code. So we are going to check if we have the code. Okay, okay, so if we have the code, so we can do is we can like const Supabase is equal to if you guys remember, we created a function called Supabase route handler here. So I'm gonna copy it here, and where it's coming from, it's coming from Supabase. Okay, so here we have this route handler, and inside I'm going to pass cookies because it is taking something known as cookies. So we are going to pass cookies from next slash header. So now we have Supabase. What we are going to do, we are going to write await Supabase dot auth dot action code for session, and inside it I'm going to give it code. Okay, so let's see what it does first. So I'm gonna go to the docs here, and I'm gonna search for exchange code for session. So let's give it a reading. NextJs auth helpers are configured to use server-side auth flow to sign in user to your application. This required you to set up a code exchange route to exchange an auth code for user session, which is set as a cookie for future request made to the Supabase. not nothing much to worry about. It's just giving us a simple hint. So this code that I have written here is for the code exchange, and you will see in the next videos what code it is giving us to it. Like in the URL, it gives us the localhost colon 3000 slash code is equal to, and then a bunch of random digits. So it's okay. It's not nothing to worry about. We have got this, and now we are going to write return. Now, since it's a function, it needs to return something. Return next response dot redirect, and where it's going to redirect is request URL dot origin. So origin is basically like a slash kind of. So it is going to redirect to the home page or anything that we have that we will define in our middleware. Okay. So we have written a few bunch line of code. We have created a new file called supabase.ts, and inside it we wrote some code there where we have created Supabase client, Supabase component, and Supabase route handler. We created a middleware file which will be taking care of our session. It is going to check in on which page we are, where we are allowed to go and where we are not allowed to go. And lastly, we created another file uh, inside app auth callback named as route.ts, and we wrote this code, and I'm going to show you in the next videos what this code is doing. So for this video, guys, this is it. We have set up our Supabase, and in the upcoming videos, I will be showing how you can connect it to the database and match types. So it is obviously very important part of Supabase, and we are going to definitely cover it. So it is the basic setup that you guys require, and nothing much. If you guys haven't seen the last video where I have installed the required libraries and code and set up the complete product, you guys can check out the link in the description. And that's all. See you guys in the next video where I'll be showing you guys what type of data we are getting here, and then we'll continue with our journey. Thanks for watching. Peace out.